Hi, I'm Alex.
And this is Geek Tank.
The show started 5 minutes ago, but we weren't airing, so you didn't see any of it. Size podcast.
Well, we were airing, but we were airing on the side of caution.
Mm.
All right. So last week we had discussed the idea of talking about why it is that the kids today are
into
kids these days are really into 8-bit games. And so, without further ado, I'm going to let Alex.
Well, I mean, first of all, these aren't 8-bit games. They're not on an 8-bit platform.
I think if we're looking at stuff like Terraria, Minecraft, Stardew Valley.
Yeah, we're talking about things that have that retro for us aesthetic. Not like, I think isn't the PS3 retro right now? Didn't it just cross that cusp of retro?
Right, but we are talking about things with low resolution.
Right, or it's and this is part of where like the discussion gets weird, because it's like we're not talking about low resolution, about things that look like they are.
Yeah.
And so I can see from the developer side where it's easier to be a small shop or even a one-person shop and make something like that. You don't have to. You don't have to spend a ton of time making super high fidelity images, animations, sound, music, but when you think about the people who are playing those games now, like I said, these are not old games. They're not designed like old games. They're designed like new games.
Yeah.
That retro aesthetic with current game design is an interesting thing to look at too.
So my kid's really into a game, and I can't remember the name of it, but I was watching them play it, and one of the things that, first I was like, wow, this looks like, Mario, original Mario on a Nintendo level graphics. And, so I was like, oh, well, this is kind of interesting. How old is this game? And they were like, oh, 2019, 2020, 2021, something in there. And I was like, But then they were like, well, the reason they do this is because there's 2 programmers. And that's it. So the programming team was small, very small. And the point was that the story had not strayed, the concept, the idea had not strayed, because there wasn't 70 people working this project all the time, with people changing things and suits changing things and stories going all over the place. And so they were really enjoying the game because it was a single point thought process. The story was written by one person who happened to be the main programmer. And so I was like, oh, you know what? I can absolutely respect that. In this modern era, one of my biggest complaints is that there are way too many soups in the kitchen, or too many soups in the kitchen. I'm just going to go with that because that one's a good one. I like it. Too many soups. Not enough chefs. But yeah.
I think also psychologically speaking, that even that when people see that aesthetic, they might be more forgiving.
Yeah.
On some of the problems of the game, issues that might come up.
Yeah. Agreed.
And yeah, interesting. Very interesting.
Certainly respectable. But it isn't just that. Obviously Minecraft is remarkably low resolution to some degree as far as graphics appearance, clearly showing and illustrating every pixel, which is kind of an interesting concept, and the entire thing is built out of blocks, which I find rather fascinating. But then I'm finding, merchandising that matches this, which I find also fascinating. I've been getting inundated on my social media feeds with effectively it's a torch from Minecraft, and they're selling it. You just buy it, and it's got it is effectively it's a box, this long, and the top part of the box lights up, and I'm like, and I'm sure they're flying off the shelves.
Those are pretty old, actually. I remember getting them way back in the day. Target had it on clearance because nobody wanted it.
Right.
But yeah, it was designed that you could actually flip over the back part and hang it off of the wall like a torch down a hallway.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right. Bob's working on it. And that's the point, right? I mean, like, Bob, you can be a single point to it's going to stay on your vision as you see it. And as somebody who I wanted to make a game as a kid, a younger person in my 20s and 30s, and it was just daunting. But now it's not so daunting.
Cool.
We're going to be your beta testers, Bob. Totally going to beta test it. So, yeah, it's an interesting thought.
What I found interesting is I was just doing a quick search to see who else might have covered a topic about kids being into the low-res games. And the first thing that popped up is increased screen time linked to aggression, anxiety. Well, no, it doesn't. I'll punch you for saying that.
Okay. Yeah. No, and so it is also interesting that with AAA studios being super risk averse and seeming to always be going for the prettier and prettier thing, or the higher fidelity, higher frame rate, and of course usually very distinctive, very intensive art styles. It is interesting to see that there's still a market for people to not only make smaller projects, lower resolution projects, but also be successful, and that there's an audience who enjoys that kind of thing. It's sort of like people were lamenting the death of the adventure games. The adventure games never went away. They just stopped having a huge audience. It's just a niche. But people still love adventure games.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely the time for indie game makers, since even Nintendo Switch you can get independent games and just download them directly from their store. And before, when you made an independent game, you'd be lucky if 100 people played it, if it got anybody to see it. But now with like Steam and what was the other one? Good Old Games, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
And those you have much more access now, and a lot of these people are smart, and they're like, oh, here, you can play our game for free for these demos, and then if you like it, then buy it or pay what you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's allows people, I think, to get out of the cookie cutter thing that a lot of games fall into. I was trying to think. Project Zomboid was a small group that made that, and those graphics definitely are not high res.
Right.
But it's popular based off of all of the intricacies in the game itself and how it works.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it is an interesting concept and idea. I mean, it's being able to make it yourself and being able to market it and sell it. That is kind of I don't know if I want to call it the democratization of the internet, but in the way, that's kind of what has happened. We've got the ability now to democratize your content, which is interesting.
So I try to get my kiddo, who's really big into this, to come on, but they're busy, so we don't get a youth view.
Right.
But yeah, they want to get. I have one CRT TV left in this house, and they want to transport it to their room so they can play their old school systems on it. It's like our buddy Bakudan gave them a classic Sega
Ooh,
Genesis,
Hmm.
so they want to hook it up to the old television set so they can play the games on it and it looks better. But I
right.
remember one of their fascinations that was interesting. I want to say this was about 10 years ago. Was when it happened at a thrift store and they had the old plug and plays. So it's just a
Mhm.
joystick that you plug into the TV and it has like 5 or 6 games on it. And the kiddo loved that idea and for a while that was like, hey, if you see a plug and play for a couple of bucks, buy it for me type thing. So,
Cool.
That's cool.
uh, and both of you got, or I mean, you recently picked up a emulator system for you and your kiddo, right, Guy?
I did. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, where did I put it? Did I put it right over here? I don't think it's. Oh, I think it's downstairs.
And
Yeah,
obviously,
I mean, those were they're effectively little Game Boys. They're kind of cute. Um,
clearly not
and
for the graphics.
yeah, I mean, the screen's pretty high res, so it's able to play most everything. I've been playing Castlevania on it, Symphony of the Night, which I don't think I've actually played since the 90s.
Ha.
So my Symphony of the Night skills are pretty sucky.
It's sad. I wound up getting it on. I was like, I want to play it, but I don't want to like dig out the PlayStation 1 and stuff. I still have it on. I still have my PS1 copy like right over there. But it was I started playing it on the from PlayStation 4 download, and I still got it. I've played that game so much, so very much. From booting it up to defeating it literally at least 1,000 times.
I just need to figure out how to get some other games on it because I'm missing
Yeah.
some games. So
Yeah. So what's really funny though is that they it was a double bundle. It was the original Symphony of the Night and also, or maybe not the original. They changed some of the stuff, but also like the Rondo of Blood, which is my favorite of the classic Castlevania games, Classicvania. And I just played that. I'm like, wow, this game is super hard. Like I remember it was super hard. It's like, this game is super hard. I'm making my way through it. I'm like, do I want to get good at this game again? I don't think so. Like I could platinum trophy this, but I'm like, it's a lot. Because that game is that game will set you up that a fight on a screen with like 2 skeletons. You're in trouble. Like you need to know what you're doing. It's like an
right,
intricate little boxing match. Every single enemy you come against, every screen you progress
Wow.
through the game. It is amazing. It's a great game. But I was like playing. I'm like, do I want to get good at this again? This game, because like it's gonna take some work. I don't know
right.
if I have that much effort in me right now for this. I still have the remake they did for the PSP that I full completed.
Mm.
So I was like, I don't know, maybe
Maybe.
in the future. But a lot of my tolerance for that kind of stuff has gone down. Like I was playing like since last week, I've put Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Not even on the back burner. I'm not playing it right now. I might get back to it.
Right.
I just got to a point in the game where it's like it was. I like to call it "do it again, stupid,"
Right.
where it's like in this instance, the combat I can work my way through. It's like that's not the hard part. Though some of the scenarios they throw you into are pretty cool and difficult. But it's like, okay, I'm going through this level and I have to do this thing and do this thing and do this thing and like I'm at the point where it is demanding instantaneous appropriate response. And it's a long enough chain of stuff that my 6 or 7 tries I get to do it before having to go back and restart at the respawn point, which might be a minute or 5 away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, if you're gonna make me do it again, stupid, just have me keep on starting right there. but you're not. And I have to like, okay, well, I tried my half dozen tries. I need to get my way back and do it again. I'm like, if I don't have the perfect every time, it's like, meh.
The
I was kind of like,
collectibles.
yeah, because are hard to get. Yeah, I'm just trying to make my way through. Actually, the part where I'm on that I was like, you know what, I'm kind of done with this for now. Was in the DLC, which I understand it's a DLC. You don't need it for the main game. I was kind of like, I just know the main game's going to get like this, and honestly, like it doesn't have like I love Sands of Time, and I really like the Sands of Time trilogy, but Sands of Time is like really, really amazing, and part of that is the Prince's charm. And Sargon is cool and all, but he's not as charming.
That's fair.
So, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I think about like you were saying Prince of Persia, and I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, I had seen some video of the original like rotoscoping that they'd used for the original Prince of Persia.
Mhm.
And I was like, I kind of want to go play the original one in a way. You know what I mean? Like that very first one that I played on my CGA screen, you know, I
Mhm.
had 4 colors.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's so much fun. Kind of wanted to go back and do that one.
Right? Yeah, no, and like, and to be completely honest, like those original Prince of Persias were also not for me because there were
Yeah.
a lot of insta death, respawn over there, run your way back through the level just to get to the point where you died, and then you die again. Like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna teach someone how to shoot hoops. Just free throw line, right? Okay, throw the ball. You missed, cool. Now walk around the park,
Right.
and when you get back, throw again. And if you miss, walk around the park.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, that's not how you learn.
That's- and I'm going to bring up driving just to upset you. No, I use a very similar analogy in class because I talk about how I think the system's messed up. That like if you've never sword fought before and you want to learn how to sword fight, and you come to me and go, "Teach me how to sword fight." I'm like, cool. Sit in this desk. I'm going to talk about it for 30 hours. Then I'll let you hold a sword, but not until I talk to you for 30 hours about it. So yeah, you got to sit in class and listen to us talk for 30 hours before you get to drive.
This seems unreasonable.
I don't know. I mean, that kind of the way I started out with Kudo. They're like, first, here's the practice bow.
But they let you
You're not
hold
allowed
it.
to touch a real bow until you can.
We don't even
Hold
have
the
practice cars. We don't even have Hot Wheels they can play with.
Yeah.
Have you ever
Hot
had them
Wheels
bring
would be
in
cool.
boxes and make box cars?
Yes, yes. Your homework is to bring in a horn. No air horns allowed.
Or like a bell, cling, 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 cling.
Yes.
Right.
Everybody be looking for soundboards on their phone. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's video games. Are you talking specifically about the first Prince of Persia 2 with the insta deaths, or because I remember that having a few times where because it's timed, you have to rush through it, and when you go
Right.
from one screen to another, if you don't know the map, you run right into a pit of
Yes.
spikes
Right.
and stuff.
And you had to
That
know
was
to
game
jump.
design back then, kids.
Yeah, and then there's one level where you had to do a leap of faith and just jump from
Yep,
one
yep,
screen
yep.
to another screen.
As soon as you cleared the screen, you had to jump. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
that's the one.
Yep, that is it.
Yeah, spoilers. I will say I love that the way you defeat the mirror version of you is to sheath your sword.
And you walk into them.
Yep.
Yep. That's
Hey, Brent.
actually very very Wizard of Earthsea.
Mm-hmm.
Hey there, Britt.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually looking at like my games. Like I got City of Wolves from GameFly, which is interesting. It's the first Fatal Fury game in over 20 years, and
Wow.
it is definitely upgraded. It's definitely the modern kind of premier or marquee fighting game style. It's very similar in graphics to like the Street Fighter 4, 5, 6, that kind of thing. And playing it, I just made me think. Speaking of retro games, I'm like, I really just want to play Garo Mark of the Wolves, the previous game. Like it was just, I don't know. maybe I'll play a little bit more, see what I like. But and then I'm also looking at my library of PlayStation 4 games, and I've actually made it through or play. I've beaten most of them, and there's a lot of them where I'm kind of like meh. Played for a while, meh. And I know that, and like this is so weird. Like speaking of Symphony of the Night, and speaking of Metroid style games, and of course I love Symphony of the Night. And Iga did the Kickstarter for his not Castlevania basically, but still Baroque Gothic Metroid game. And I played it, and I'm like, I don't know where I'm going. I'm gonna check everywhere I can go. Okay, I'm obviously not grokking something.
Right.
Am I having enough fun with this game to look it up? No.
Nope.
Nope. It's like, okay. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, looking at my games, I'm like, yeah, beat God of War 3. I want to go back and play God of War 2018 and Ragnarok again, but I'm going to wait some time on that. But there's some games I do want to replay, or also like Nier Automata has got like 26 different endings, of which I've gotten like 4. I work on those. I did throw in Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls. I'm like, how many Paragon levels have I gotten on this game in hardcore? I'm like, oh, there's more to do, but I actually have 800 Paragon levels, which maxes out does plus 50 to everything.
Right.
And of course, you can keep on getting Paragon levels to add to your like hit points and magic points, I think. So I'm like, oh, well, so much for that time waster. And but yeah, like I have introduced the kiddo to Fist of the North Star. I might play the Fist of the North Star game for them.
I mean, just saying, it fits.
It is a great game. It really is, and I haven't played it in a couple years.
I have it on my emulator.
Which, like the one for PS4, Lost Paradise?
No.
Okay.
No, before that.
Then I'm gonna have to tell you, if it's not Lost Paradise, it's crap.
Oh yeah, I figured it was crap.
Yeah, like Lost Paradise is the best Fist of the North Star video game, and not just because all the rest of them are dog shit. It's actually a legitimately good game. Like the people who developed it really understand Fist. It is
right.
The central conceit is silly as shit, but it takes itself seriously enough. But then also knows that it's also silly as shit.
Right.
There's a mini game where you have to where you're a bartender, and one of the things you do is you take the controller and you shake it to shake it like you're shaking a drink. There's a rhythm game mini game where the doctor's sick. Can you help these people using your Hokuto Shinken skills, but also defeat the bandits who are trying to rob them? And it's a rhythm game that you're literally helping people, and then bandits come in, and then like you go to a bandit, blow up their head and shit. It is amazing.
So when you mess up, do you blow up the innocent people you're trying to help?
No, you don't.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
It's wholesome. God damn it!
It's nice graphics for yeah. I don't have a PlayStation 4, so. But yeah, it's that very artistic style of graphics with it.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite rotoscoping. But what's the word I'm looking for? Soft shade.
Cell shaded.
Shell shading. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like kind of the modern cell shade-esque look. Same as well the fighting games these days.
Mm-hmm.
They're really they're doing a good job of honing in on that. Like the original cell shading, I was not hot on, but the more current cell shading stuff is actually pretty nice.
Interesting.
Sorry, I was watching this guy play through. He's just like, da, 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 da.
Oh yeah, no, it's bonkers. Like they're like, that's another game where like I got pretty good at it, and I was like, do I want to take this to the next level? I was like, nah, I'm having fun where I am.
I think I've only ever had one.
People doing like 1,000 hit combos in the melees and stuff. I'm like, nah. I was gonna go through and do all my Hokuto Shinken shit as much as I can. That's what I'm here for. Pummeling some dude, getting my gauge up, and it's like, oh, someone just shot a crossbow at me. Pick it out of the air, throw it back at him, keep on pummeling this guy, make his head blow up. He explodes, kills another one of his friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jammer Lammy. Yes, I got that
Jammer
after
Jammer Lammy.
Parappa the Rapper.
Yep.
Yep.
The level where you shit your pants if is your fail state. Love
Yep.
it. But then some of the cell shading back in the day was it was a little bit iffy. I gotta say though, I did love the art style and direction of the cell shading for the Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. That was really cool.
Well, and I think that's what I had a problem with, was that for a while there, they didn't know what they were supposed to do. The artists were like not sure how to handle, is this 3D? Is it 2D? What is it? And so I think that was why I tended to find the cell shading so bizarre early on. We had like, you think, what was it? That Space Station 5. Where am I going on this one?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that was it was a rhythm game.
Yep.
It was
and it was like, we came out there and that one really looked nice and they were working it, but it was not cell shaded. It didn't have the cell shading effect, but it was definitely a anime-esque character sort of thing.
Dreamcast and PlayStation 2. Space Channel 5.
That's Space Channel 5. That's right.
Space Channel 5. But yeah, it was just it was an interesting. That one had an interesting set of. We're gonna head more towards this, cell shading sort of 3D, but it wasn't quite there yet. And then all these people were like, "Oh, that looks really nice," and then they started going through all these different motions on it, and it's just interesting because that was like, and then they just couldn't find their way for a very long time. But you know who does find their way?
And they're very interesting, too.
It's our sponsors. Because Geek Tank is sponsored by Kieran Games, Geekway Homes, The Massage Wizard, and your mom.
Your Umajami Mama, Lammy. Right. She's a rhythm game.
Stay in rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
In rhythm is bleiben. But yeah. So I was just thinking about like what other games, like there's some other games I do want to play for PS4 that I don't have. Like I hear the Yakuza series is very good, and considering part of the team that made the best Fist of the North Star game ever works on the Yakuza series, like I want to give them a shot.
Right.
But yeah, it's like, I was also thinking like I've got all these games. I got like a 12-foot long HDMI cable to go to the TV over there. So probably like, show the kiddo some of these older games like Brutal Legend or the first few Assassin's Creeds or, something. I was thinking maybe Tomb Raider, but Lara Croft always has to like kill animals. My kid's not down with that.
That's fair.
Which is cool.
That's fair. Well, and some of these games are really pretty timeless, Like, I mean, I'm still playing effectively SimCity whenever I can, whenever I'm playing City Skylines, and it is the foundation and format and the basic function of it hasn't changed any since the first version I played back almost in high school. AC2 was the best one.
It's hard to argue against that.
Yeah,
it really is. I wish that they had done a few other things with it. Like as much as I love because I do love Assassin's Creed 2. It is. I tell people all the time, if you're going to play only one Assassin's Creed game, play Assassin's Creed 2. Period. But I would have liked for you to be more involved in the running of the stuff, like in Brotherhood. I know it's not a lot. It's not very deep. It's like, send people on missions or train them up and stuff. But I did like that a lot from Brotherhood. And I do like whenever I play Assassin's Creed 1 anymore, because I have played it a few times over the years, I don't speed run it, but I don't care about anything except for like the story. And so I'll do the minimum amount of missions to unlock the next assassination and then go from there. And of course, as least in the first one, as soon as you get the hidden blade counter kill, that is boom, kill time. And you can one shot any enemy in the game with that, including the final boss, who's a complete motherfucker if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
I like Brotherhood too. I like Brotherhood a lot. But as far there was I don't know though. Like I said, I'd love for some of the stuff from Brotherhood to be in 2, and I love at the end of 2. Spoiler alert for what, a 15-year-old game. When you pull the Apple of Eden, and the 5 Ezio doubles come off of you to do battle, which is what the last boss in the first one does to you.
Right.
I literally I was jumping up and down screaming like crazy. Just bonkers. So.
Yeah, they were fun games.
Yeah.
That's one of the first games where I was like, oh, look, there's all these things you can go collect that have nothing to do with the game. I'll pass on that.
Yeah. Fair.
I don't need all these feathers.
What? You don't have all the feathers?
I got the feathers so that way I could have the blue cape, because blue's my favorite color.
That's fair.
And I did like how, one thing that I did like more about 2 than Brotherhood was that I liked the headquarters better. I liked the villa in Monteriggioni better than kind of, you're on this little island and you're kind of hiding. It's like, okay. Though I did like the outfits and stuff. And, one of my favorite moments in Assassin's Creed ever was in Brotherhood, where I'm walking around. I'm like training assassins. I'm like, yeah, let's get you guys leveled up. It gets you on better missions. Get me more shit. Thanks. And it's fun to like run in there and jump in on stuff. Like when they get in trouble, you don't want them to die. So you show them how it's done. That was always fun. But one time I'm like walking through the city and I'm like, I'm rich as shit and I'm letting it show. And like I go walking by some guards and they totally like decide to like throw their authority on me. They like shove me and stuff, and I look at them and I just hold up my fist. I push the button to hold up the fist, and arrows descend upon them and kill them all. And I keep walking. It could have only been more satisfying if there was like a motion sensor and the actual thing you did was take your hand off the controller and clench your fist for it to happen.
Arrowed.
Yeah, right. Arrowed. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, Brent, I saw it. I saw the Enterprise D. That was very cool.
Uh-oh. How much is that going to cost?
I don't know.
All of it.
But
10 pressed bars of latinum.
I probably, if it is a leak that is real, then I will find a way.
Huh.
I will find a way.
Cool.
Of course, there's still
your birthday already passed, sucker.
Yeah.
Should have been born later in
I don't know.
year.
By the time they release it, I might be at my next birthday.
That was the only good thing to come out of. That was the only thing, good thing to come out of that movie that you won't mention, because Mega Bloks bought the rights to Star Trek and released a bunch of Star Trek stuff because of that movie.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And they even got some of the classic original stuff and released those guys.
And despite the fact that I hate that movie, I still bought all the Mega Bloks. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. So real quick on Assassin's Creed, there's this really fun show. I don't think they make them anymore. Bits that Conan O'Brien would do called Clueless Gamer. And he did Clueless Gamer Assassin's Creed Origins.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if the version he had was like a test version or something, but he found some button combination that made the character flap their arms like they were flying. And it was like some kind of weird glitch. And he's like making bird noises as he's running around flapping his arms. It's hilarious. So yeah, Clueless Gamer is Conan O'Brien bit. They're usually around 10 minutes long, but they're a lot of fun.
Sure. Yeah.
What's funny is that some of the games you could tell he just thinks are crap, but because they're sponsoring him, when they get to the end, it's like, check this game out and go buy it, because he has to say that stuff at the end.
Right. Yeah, and definitely engage with games that bring you joy in a way that brings you joy, or don't
Mhm.
engage with them. My kid, I think I've mentioned this. I found an open world game where the main character is an Islander girl, and after you get in, you explore a little bit and meet a couple other people, then your dad gets kidnapped, and $400 buy a pair of those John Fluvog boots instead.
I
Jesus.
know. God, I need those
Anyway,
boots. Ugh.
and so then and it's got, of course, this open world. There's a million things to do, right, and this and that and the other thing. And my kiddo was really involved in, like, just exploring, like climbing things and checking things out and walking around and stuff. But they made it their mission to pet every kind of animal in the game. Like very limited gaming experience, at least compared to us. And it's like, oh, my dad's been kidnapped, whatever, that'll keep. I got to try to pet this deer.
Fair.
Or I'm going to try to, like, set this up where I can swim after, like, can be on this boat and then jump off and then dive and pet the dolphin in the
You know
water
what?
before it swims
There have
away.
been more than one game out there where it became my goal to do something that wasn't the plan in the game. And
Yeah, something the designers clearly intended, but
yeah,
definitely off the story path.
Well, they should have made it time sensitive if they cared. Yeah, there's so many games like Skyrim where it's like, you have to go do this thing. Somebody's like, help, my cat's lost. I'll come help you find your cat because it's experience points and stuff. And
Mhm.
the world can wait. It's not going to die while I look for a cat.
luckily for us,
Yeah.
the world will suspend this plot of the dragon trying to destroy everything. The dragon will wait until you find the cat.
Speaking of weird timing, I have really been enjoying Baldur's Gate 3. I've not seen a lot of the story because I actually really enjoy the character creation, that I keep making different characters just to try them out.
Tracks.
And so far, my favorite one is Skiz, because I'm trying to get through every conflict with deception or persuasion and trying not to fight whenever possible. Because there's like this one fight you can totally avoid because you show up and it's like, oh, I think there's an invasion force coming. You guys better run. And if you succeed, they're like, run away. It's like, hey, look, they left all their loot. Let's get all their loot now.
Nice.
I'm just sad I can't. The kobold's a mod, and so the clothes don't look right. The shoulders are like up here and that, so I can't.
It's like
a
that,
badge.
it's like a backpack rig
Right.
body puppet.
Little
It's like,
fake helmet.
I'm not a kobold. I'm
No.
a regular halfling like
That's
the
right.
rest of you people.
That's right. Yeah, it's but it's still a lot of fun. There you can get some pets in it, a couple of pets, but they're mainly just at camp. It's not like a lot of stuff, but you can do really interesting stuff with it. If you have animal speak, you can talk to pretty much all the animals. But it has a lot of stuff that you can miss a ton of it and go back and play and find other stuff.
Cool.
But I think the animals was the thing where I was going with that and replayability, because talking about petting animals. I remember where I was going with that. It has an interesting timing thing that I think would solve the problem with combat for tabletop D&D. If you're not in a fight, you're like 2 rooms over, because you can split the party, even though you should never split the party. You can absolutely split the party. If someone's in a fight, they go into turn-based mode. And so you, just like in normal games, you have your action, your bonus action, reaction, all that stuff. But your guys who aren't in combat aren't in turn-based mode. So you can jump over to them and like run all the way through the building and then show up and join in the turn-based mode at that moment.
Mhm.
So it's like they wait for combat to start. It's like, wait, my buddies are showing up. Let's just hang on a minute. So they're sipping tea and then they come bursting in. And a trick I'd found with another assassin is, if you or not another rogue who I made as an assassin, if you shoot bad guys but they don't see you yet and you're far enough back, it doesn't trigger turn-based mode because they don't know you're there. So you could just pick everyone off at a camp with never going into combat. So which no GM's ever gonna like. I had 50 guys to fight you guys, and you just shot them all from outside the woods.
Whoops.
But yeah, I recommend it. It's a fun game.
Cool.
It does have
I'm not
the
sure if
same main storyline.
I don't know if my system can run it. Honestly, a
It's
little bit long in the tooth
it's
over here.
it's cross platform. I don't remember.
Is it good with controller or?
I've not played it with a controller, so I don't know.
Okay.
I think if you're more of a PC person, it's probably just better to get it on PC. But if you're, let's see,
I'm looking at the specs right now. I got Steam open.
Okay.
You said you're going to talk about cars, so I opened up Steam and good old games. You know,
Ha! Nice. I was going to talk about teaching, about using your analogy for basketball and free throws.
I meet minimum requirements for Baldur's Gate 3. I exceed minimum requirements for Baldur's Gate 3, actually.
Nice.
I saw.
I do
Baldur's
not
Gate
meet minimum
3
requirements for Clear Obscure,
assembled.
which makes me sad.
Oh,
I want to play
yeah, I
Clear
know.
Obscure so bad.
Yeah, that's on your list. I knew that.
So bad.
So yeah, I got nothing else about 8-bit games I can think of, or retro games.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
to revisit that just a tiny bit, I've been going through my stuff and getting rid of stuff, right? So I've been going through books, and wow, do I have a lot of books?
Yeah.
that tracks.
I'm pretty much done going through my books. And I think the next thing to go through is calling my video game stuff. And then figure out what I want to keep, what I don't want to keep, and all that. And then once I'm doing that, that's when I'm going to like see if I can set up, because my TV off camera does actually have like not the old style hookups, you know, but it does have the back to at least cable and
Right.
and RCA jacks and stuff.
Not the old screws with the antenna prongs on it.
Yeah, it won't handle that, but they used to make adapters for those to go into the cable thing. And not that I have a system that needs that anymore. I mean, I do have a Nintendo, but that's RCA, and or can be RCA. But yeah, setting up those old systems and stuff and being like, here are cool games, you know, the creme de la creme of yesteryear. So.
Well, when you get to the games you're going to get rid of, I know my kiddo might be interested in buying some from you.
Cool.
Depending on what they are.
Yeah, I was going to give my VGR crew first crack.
Makes sense.
But then after that, sure.
Sense, yeah.
You.
But, you know, second or third crack, or just, you know, getting addicted to crack, which is pretty much what all those games are, effectively. Or something.
I guess
I actually still have Baldur's Gate still installed, which, you know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, you made a green tiefling. So
I did.
Yeah, one of my favorite characters is taking a halfling and making a little female halfling barbarian, because when they rage they go rah! It's just like the animation's just hilarious, especially with the smallest character doing it. And fall damage is God, I found out. So yeah, so I have another character I made that's only specialty is throwing people. I had trouble deciding between the Defenestrator and Yeats, so I went with Yeats just to be cool with the kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, first thing you do when you run into combat, raid. Second thing you do, grab the closest person and throw them off a cliff.
Yep. Nice. Yeah, there was in the old 3.5 days, there's a mage subclass or a mage class, or not a subclass, but a mage class, or what do they call it? Prestige class. That was all about using magic to fling people. And like the picture showed like a dude like doing that and like a pair of like empty boots.
Nice.
Like just popped off the ground because they've obviously been hurled into the sky at great velocity.
There is telekinesis in the game, so I bet you could use it to throw people. I haven't tried doing that.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, just call him Yeats the Flinger.
Yeats.
Need to find a friendly local game store. There are no friendly local game stores. Oh my!
But you're in Kansas. You're probably not near Miniature Market, would be my guess. Because that's the. I mean, I've only been through Kansas, and the only place I stop at for game stuff is Miniature Market, and they're close. I think they're actually Missouri, so they're
Missouri.
the other Kansas city, not the good the good can. I don't know if that's the good one or not. Actually, I know there's a White Castle like 5 blocks away from it though, and that
Mhm.
gets brownie points for me. So.
Right.
Uh, so I started just like I did with The Good Place. It took years to get around to watching that, and when I did, I loved it. There's another show that's probably been for years. People have been telling me I should watch it, and I watched the first episode, and I can tell it's going to be a show I'm going to like. It's called Severance.
Oh, I want to see that.
It looks like a slow long story that could easily be set in the Black Mirror universe
Hmm.
because the way it's playing out, and it's just great pacing with the storytelling so far, great characters. But yeah, I watched the first episode. I'm like, yeah, I'm in. I want to watch more. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're just gonna have to make your own. Find a coffee shop and start your own gaming club.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of guys who play Magic at a disc golf store with not really a brewery, but with like beer on tap as well, like just a few minutes away. They play like almost every night.
Oh
I
wow.
went a couple times. But yeah, I mean, just if you start just putting that vibe out there, maybe put the word out, maybe get some people.
Yeah.
Whew.
Mhm.
So I've not watched the new season of Wednesday yet. Like Brent had mentioned, was watching that. That
Mm.
is on my list to watch.
Yep, we're watching it.
So
We haven't started it yet either.
there's a
Mostly because I think I will do it with. I mean, like watching Wednesday seems like a Troy thing.
yeah, we watched season 1 on our Friday night hangout, so
Mhm.
we'll
Yeah,
probably
that's
watch
what
that.
I'm
Just like
thinking.
we watched Sandman on our Friday night hangout, so we're kind of behind now since we've fallen behind on Friday night hangouts.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we're back to school now, so Friday night hangouts might be a little bit more reasonable. Things got a little weird over the summer as we all worked all the time.
Mhm.
This last
Yeah.
the last 2 weeks have just been insane. I had overtime on both weeks.
Hmm.
So great for paycheck, not
Mhm.
great for any other life thing ever.
Right. Yeah, we finished watching Sandman, and we're about halfway through the episodes available for Wednesday season 2. I think they've split it up. It seems like there's a lot to try to resolve in another couple episodes.
Mm.
So, which is fine. Like when they did the Sandman, they split that up too. But it was like, here's half the episodes in what was it, June or May? Here's the other half in July. That was
Yeah.
fine
And then they had the animated like thing in between, I think.
for
Or
Sandman.
was that? Or no, that was at the end. That was after they had all the episodes, right?
Yeah, that was season 1, and then they did a bonus episode with a couple of the stories from of the shorter stories, like the Dream of Cats was the big one that I remember. I think Calliope was in there too, though. Yeah.
Yep. I just don't have a lot to report these days, I'm noticing.
Uh-huh.
You guys are like talking about all this stuff. I'm like, I haven't seen that or
No.
that.
But
or
you
that.
have seen the first few episodes of the current season of Cobra Kai now.
Yes, which actually was pretty fun.
Yeah. And like Tara
And-
was pointing out, it's better than the last season because the last season felt like it was kind of going downhill a bit.
Yeah.
Mm.
First
Yeah.
season's still the best. I love the first season of that show.
Well, but that's the thing is like Karate Kid was the first movie where I felt like they had the concept of martial arts going for it, as opposed to just, hoo-ah, sort of things where you're like, well, okay, but, martial arts can still be a martial art well into your 90s without, as the requirement of martial arts. There's so much more to it. And so I really liked that. And Cobra Kai started out with that, we're going to get back to the core of martial arts. And then you're right, somewhere in the middle there, they just kind of, hey, let's have lots of punching. And now they're back to what's the core of martial arts? You know, why are we here? You know, what are we doing this for? You know,
My ongoing quest to not hurt people on accident.
right?
And when it happens, it's efficient and properly done.
Or just being internally calm. And I think that's something as an
I'm
older,
calm when I hit people with chairs.
right? As an older martial artist now, I'm starting to be very attracted to that. I'm working on Tai Chi now, which is a markedly calmer martial art. Still can be deadly, but
It
for the
give you
most
a heart
part,
attack.
huh?
Nothing.
Oh.
It'll give you a heart attack.
Tai Chi? I doubt
You
it.
said it could be deadly. I don't know.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, but it's a markedly calmer martial art. I like it a lot better, and it's, you know, trying to find an internal center in your being instead of, you know, martial arts is about making you a better person. So, and I mean,
This
you know,
trailer keeps playing. Stop it.
maybe I'm off base here, but
Yeah, I mean, many reasons.
yes,
Many
there's
reasons.
always different reasons. And I guess that's
Even many
one of the
reasons for
things that's attracting
person,
me
too.
as an older person now. That's one of the things that's attracting me. So kind of nice to see, you know, they're going back to the Johnny having to learn that aspect.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, and yeah, you know, at least 2 months of Netflix instead of getting a membership, watching the one season and canceling the membership. Yeah, sure. I mean, for profit's going to for profit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I personally don't mind. I maintain 3 streaming memberships, and we go through them. We watch stuff from all of them.
I maintain way too many at this moment, but we'll pare them down at some point here. We'll have to have that discussion as to what we're going to do, especially since it looks like they're all trying to, you know, they figured out the, oh, you're sharing your membership. Well, that can't happen thing. So once they do,
They
you know,
keep
it's
trying to
going to
do
be,
that, but they're not very successful so far.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, these days I'm getting more into Andor. I'm nearing the end of the first season and getting less into Demon Slayer. I think I've got like one more episode for the first season of that, which is a full season of like 22 episodes or something.
yeah.
And still skipping lots of stuff. Last time I watched it, I'm like,
Yeah, we
these
watched
characters are
K-pop Demon
irritating.
Hunters. That was a shock in this family. So
And for what?
it was actually kind of funny. We started K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we just talked about it like that night and whatever. And after doing Geek Tank, I shut down Geek Tank and went downstairs, and the kid was downstairs, and I was like, you want to watch something? And I was like flipping through. I was, didn't we just mention this? You know, K-pop Demon Hunters. So I hit play, but it was interesting because the last thing we watched on Netflix, we had to switch it to Japanese with English subtitles. So whatever, I can't remember what it was we watched, but whatever it was, we tend to prefer to watch them in their native language. So we started watching K-pop Demon Hunters in Japanese. And that was fascinating. I mean, with subtitles. And we watched the whole movie in Japanese with subtitles, and really interesting because the subtitles matched the English. It was animated in English, so their mouths were mouthing English words, but the Japanese. But the thing was fascinating was the songs.
good night, Bob.
Night, Bob.
Good night, Bob. But I mean, the songs were fascinating to me in that when they would sing the songs, it was clear in the subtitles. You'd get the English words, and then all of a sudden they'd break into a little burst of Korean.
Mm-hmm.
Which is typical for K-pop. But the song, which was all in Japanese, even the Korean was in Japanese some of the time. And I thought that was fascinating too. So there's a lot of cultural in and out that I was fascinated by watching it in Japanese.
Yeah, we just watched K-pop Demon Hunters last night as a family. The kiddo's seen it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
So my question, Guy, is why didn't you watch it in Korean?
Well, it's because it was already in Japanese. The Netflix had been set for Japanese. And we started watching it and then realized we were in the wrong language. Mm-hmm. And then just kind of went, well, I'm curious. Let's leave it. And the kid was like, yeah, let's leave it.
Okay.
And so we left it, which was funny. Yeah, I want to. Well, and then Mariah came home and wanted to watch the beginning because she watched to the end, but from like the middle to the end. So we went back and watched it in English, which is what its original language technically is. But now you're right. I kind of want to go back and watch it in Korean now, because I'm like, now I'm kind of curious what that's like in what would have been a native language.
Are you sure that the songs actually were in Japanese?
So I understood a lot of the words, and I don't understand any words in Japanese or in Korean. I only speak English and Japanese.
It says the songs aren't exclusively in Japanese, so
it was just no, and that's the thing is like, so the group the main group that backs this is Twice, and the group Twice has a couple of Japanese members, so you can't. They also have a couple of members that are, I think, Korean American, because their English and Japanese breakouts are often pretty good with no accent. Although
it looks like there's a 9-minute video on YouTube that I guess compares the English versus Japanese versus Korean dubs, which is interesting. Yeah, I figured you watched it in Japanese because you know Japanese, so it wasn't that hard.
It was actually just complete laziness. It takes us a second because each one of the streaming services has a different way to get through to do things. And so it was just laziness. We were trying to figure out how to switch it. We couldn't figure out how to switch it right off the bat. And we were like, yeah, let's just leave it, So, but yeah, now I want to kind of go back and watch it. The kiddo has said that that's their absolute favorite movie now. They just love that movie. That's their favorite movie. So they're really into that movie. So I don't think
I can't say I'm surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, it won't be hard to convince them to go back. And of course, I loved all of the songs because I'm actually a fan of Twice. Twice has grown up. And originally Twice was very girl poppy and very young, and they've matured quite a bit, and their music's matured. So I'm much more aligned with their music nowadays. It's not to say I don't like their older music, but they weren't top on my list. More mature music now, like Les Seraphim. Or even, for that matter, New Jeans, which is, you know what? There's no reason to go into this. It's geeky, but it's the wrong geeky.
Looks like you could also watch it in Filipino and Spanish.
So, yeah, there are a lot of languages. It was cool.
Castlevania in German.
To make it extra mean. You make that movie disappear.
Kids do that. I remember one of my siblings. They watched The Little Mermaid at least once a day, every day.
My niece, I used to like Goonies. I like Goonies again now that I've gotten away. But when it came out on videotape, my niece would watch it, and then when it got to the end, immediately rewind it and start it again. And watch it like 3 or 4 times in a day, back to back. I'm like, I
did that with Macross the movie when I first got it.
I'll tell you where the gold's buried. Stop torturing me. But yeah, too much of a good thing. Well, we are speaking of too much of a good thing. We've given everybody 3 minutes more than they were supposed to have.
We still haven't hit 60 minutes on our going live though.
Yeah. Oh, we haven't.
Late.
All right.
59:17.
Oh, that's right. We weren't recording when we were talking.
We were talking about what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And then Alex started going, you know what my feelings are on this? And I was like, oh, crap. Alex doesn't know we haven't started yet. Because Alex was like in complete, hi, welcome to the show mode.
Let's get going.
Yeah. I'll just stay blurry.
And Troy's in blurry mode.
I am. I've been drinking too much.
Yep. But that's all right. We're coming up on the end, so you can blur your way into oblivion.
Mhm.
Drink your way into oblivion over there.
Yeah, there's also we were talking about, like, the martial arts and the stuff. There's a line in God of War, the new ones, and I think it might be, I see the 2018 or the Ragnarok, the new ones. But Kratos is telling his son to relax and be calm, and It's like, well, about you? And he's like, I am always calm.
Yep. And on that very calming note, we'll have to leave you all now and see you all next week. And until then, I've been Guy.
I've been Troy.
And I've been Alex.
And this